Ever get that feeling like you're playing a part, not a fun one either? Like one that just doesn't fit anymore? Yeah, like you're on stage, but suddenly the script's all wrong, right? It's like this whisper inside saying, this isn't really me. It's like being assigned a role, and then things get kind of out of suit. Like your actions and your gut are going in totally different directions. Absolutely. And thinking back to the start, there any instructions given, a path you felt you had to follow? Maybe even without really listening to your own intuition, right? Maybe you felt necessary then, to protect yourself or fight for something important, or even just to survive. Yeah, exactly. But what's really interesting is what happens when that initial motivation kind of fizzles out. When those reasons you had don't hold up anymore. You change, things evolve, but you're still stuck playing that same part, right? Your insides change, but your outside stays the same. It's like what they call cognitive dissonance. That tension between what you're doing and what you actually believe. And that can be so uncomfortable, right? Like suddenly feeling compassion when you're supposed to be tough, or wanting connection when they're supposed to be distant. It's like your heart's pulling you one way, but something's holding you back. Like an invisible tether, that's a good way to put it. That internal conflict is a big sign. It's a real tug of war between who you really are and this persona you've been carrying around. And the thing is, that tether, that sense of obligation or duty, it might not even have been a choice you made, exactly. So here's a big question to think about. What gave you those orders in the first place? Where did those instructions come from? Sit with that for a minute. And another one, what were you promised in return? Was there some kind of reward or payoff for following that path? Because they're really interesting. If what you were promised was something they couldn't actually give, like inner peace or integrity, maybe even someone else's well-being, then the whole foundation of those instructions is shaky. Yeah, it's like a deal made with fake money. It's like those red shoes in the story. They promise excitement, glamour, but the pain that comes with each step, that part's hidden. Totally. But there's this unspoken pressure to keep dancing no matter how much it hurts. Now, what if the person or the situation you were told to oppose, the one you were maybe meant to challenge, is actually a catalyst? Interesting. What if they're not the enemy, but a mirror reflecting back the truth about this role that doesn't fit? It's like they're showing you yourself. Exactly. If this is hitting home, if something feels strangely familiar, like a forgotten memory resurfacing, pay attention. This could be your intuition trying to break. It could be you because you can't live into opposite realities at the same. Can't be the puppet following someone else's script and the healer following your own. As you walk barefoot, feel the ground beneath your feet without those prescribed steps. Let go of the red shoes that are hurting you. Metaphorically speaking, give back those orders, those instructions that don't resonate with who you are becoming. And most importantly, find your voice again, that truth that might have been silenced by that role you were given. Which brings us to one final question for you to ponder. If the person you saw as the opposition, if they're really a mirror, what does that reflection tell you about the true intentions behind those original instructions? Let us know what you discover. We'll be back next week with another deep dive.